Here we have the current stock market update for Super Micro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Before we begin, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we can see that we have a daily price chart, and as things currently stand, share prices are starting to trend lower after failing at a very critical level of resistance that I outlined during the previous trading video. I have not changed any of the chart markings here or the analysis signals. So as we can see here, this very critical level of resistance, which posted at $630, is now proving to be another zone of resistance that is negatively influencing the stock. So with the remainder of this video, we will be looking at some very important price levels, some very, very important support and resistance zones, which can be used to establish profitable trading strategies for this stock going forward. So as we can see here, this is a share price that's definitely declining. It's definitely moving lower after posting a fairly significant trend move in the downward direction. Essentially, what I'm looking at here is the price high, which was established during the June 20 trading session, and then extending this price movement into the downside direction all the way to the 478.56 price lows, which formed during the August 8 trading session. So if we're using this as our current trend movement, our most influential trend wave here, what we can see is that we did slightly see a break above the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement zone, which came in just above the 602.50 mark. However, share prices were really starting to flatline as they moved into this 20-day exponential moving average, which is the yellow line on the price chart here. When we look at this, it's really somewhat undeniable to sort of ignore the fact that share prices did run right into this area and then, just have so much difficulty overcoming the 20-day EMA that eventually traders gave up. And some of those people started to exit their positions. So ultimately, this worked in the downside to the downside direction for this stock, and this does now establish the 630 mark as a very critical level of resistance going forward. As things currently stand, you will need to see a break above this level in order to take pressure off of the downside, because essentially what would be occurring at this point would be a break back into the exponential moving average cluster. So essentially that would sort of take the trend direction away from the downside if we were to break above that level. But as things currently stand, there is a significant amount of event risk that's currently on tap for this stock, given the fact that the Nvidia quarterly earnings report for the second quarter period is going to be released after the bell on Wednesday. It might not seem as though these two companies are directly related. I mean, why would the Nvidia earnings report directly impact Super Micro Computer? However, the reason I think that we do need to be paying attention to this event mostly comes from the fact that this is really going to weigh on sentiment for the broader market. The expectations for Nvidia currently are quite high. We're looking at revenue growth expectations coming in at 125% on an annualized basis. And then the EPS figure is expected to show growth of 112%. So, this is not to say that Nvidia cannot surpass these numbers, but these are very substantial expectations. And if we start to see any misses anywhere in this earnings report, this could start to weigh not only on the technology sector, but on the broader market as a whole. So we could see declines in the S&P 500 as well, quite easily. So as things currently stand, it's not really surprising to see some investors taking some money off the table here ahead of this key event risk, and probably not wanting to keep positions open in the event that Nvidia does miss to the downside. So currently what we're dealing with here with Supermicro is an indicator reading that is strongly bearish in terms of the overall trend momentum that is being seen. However, share prices are currently coming into contact with this area, and it really wouldn't take much of an upside price movement in order for the share price in the stock to break above this trend line. As we can see here, it is a somewhat drastic slope here, and when you start to see slopes that are that dramatic, they tend to be less sustainable, less viable over the long term, and you do start to see price breaks once share prices start to sort of stabilize here a bit. So we do have a major event risk at the moment. We can't really ignore that. And if we were, for example, if Nvidia, for example, does post strong earnings, I think it seems fairly safe to say that we will see an upward break in this negative trend condition that is currently showing on the daily chart for super microcomputer as well. We can point to some positives here because the relative strength index itself, which is the purple line, has risen above the yellow line, which is the moving average of the relative strength index. So that on its own is a positive signal. However, we can also see here that we're sort of on the verge of crossing back below here again. So today's close is going to be very critical, and the trading activity over the next 2 days is going to be critical as well, because this is essentially going to give us the framework and the basis from which SMCI share prices are able to respond to the earnings figures that are posted by Nvidia after the market close on Wednesday. So as things currently stand, what the main level that I'm watching to the top side does come in right around $635. If we're able to break above here, I do think that this takes pressure off of the downside because this sends us right back into the exponential moving average cluster. At the very least, that should allow us to sort of establish a period of sideways consolidation rather than significant trend movements to the downside. Conversely, if we were to see sustained price movements lower here, I think you have to start to look at 547.50 because this does roughly match the price lows, which came in during this would be the August 14 trading session. So this would be the next level of support that I would be watching to the downside. As things currently stand, you can see here that overall readings in the trend volume figure are starting to post lower. And in my view, this is not surprising given the fact that, we do have a very market moving event coming on Wednesday. So I think that this is closely tied to this most recent decline in share prices, this reluctance to sort of hold on to large positions in anticipation of this quarterly earnings release on Wednesday. And as a result here, I think you're starting to see trading volumes that are now moving in the negative direction, at least lower. I shouldn't really say negative direction, but the trading volumes themselves are weaker. We're not really seeing significant, spikes in the negative direction. We did see this most recent price volume bar here start to grow in size. However, I do think that this is more closely related to the event risk rather than the underlying fundamentals for Supermicro itself. So here's the current stock market update for Supermicro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.